I can't believe they made a Teen Titans Go movie. And I can't believe I just bought opening night tickets. Teen Titans was the crap back in the day, man. It was my childhood gold. What have they done? Now they made a movie? Can you believe they made a movie? Mowgli. Can you believe they made a Teen Titans Go movie? Let's see what they do with it. Teen Titans Go follows your least favorite incarnation of your favorite teenage superhero team, and it follows them trying to make their mark in the superhero pantheon and find their own film, because in the words of Robin, you're not a real superhero until you have your own movie. So in a world obsessed with superhero culture and obsessed with superhero movies, the Teen Titans try to make their mark, and specifically Robin sets out on a quest to have his own superhero movie. My goodness. You know, in April 2013, a part of my childhood died when Teen Titans Go was released, a reboot of the original series, which, as an OG comic book and superhero fan, I'm a huge fan of. Have the 5th season. The 4th season was borrowed to a friend and I never got it back. But regardless, I really enjoyed the original just because it had heart, it had humor, it had action, it had morals, it was just a great time overall. So when they trade in that just for a spoof of that show with poop and fart jokes galore and and little kid humor, you best believe I was mad. But when I saw that they were making a movie, I was like, okay, we can see if this movie can stand on its own merits, because the trailers kind of indicated that maybe it would be in the same vein as Lego Batman as far as a DC animation with a lot of meta humor and superhero parody aspects. I was wrong, and I was right too. So the Teen Titans Go movie, there's a couple things this movie has going for it. First of all, the voice cast is phenomenal. One of the few aspects of charm that Teen Titans Go has is that it got all the original voice actors for the Teen Titans themselves, which are all great in their roles as usual. But a special highlight in this movie to Will Arnett as Slade. Will Arnett produced this movie, and it really shows. Whenever Slade only gets a little bit of screen time compared to the other Titans, but every time he's on screen, he just brings the laugh. Slade is completely hilarious in this movie, and Slade definitely has the most fun as far as making fun of the superhero tropes, which is the second main thing this movie has going for it. In a lot of ways, it's a parody of superhero movies, and it has a lot of commentary on just superhero saturation, because we're in a world where we get 5 to 6 comic book movies, superhero movies a year, which is a lot more than Days of Past. So I'm really glad this movie has a lot of meta humor, and it has a lot of commentary on just how tired we could eventually get of superhero movies if they keep coming out this many times a year. Although there are several movies that have done this better, this movie still has its own it feels like a fresh breath of air for a movie to simply parody superhero tropes and classical movie tropes. I was really surprised at how many references and allusions there were to other great films in cinema, not just superhero cinema. This movie definitely had some great meta humor like I was looking for. I was going into this movie just looking for a balance between superhero humor, meta humor, and classical plot tropes with those, but also I knew they would have to have those immature fart jokes and poop jokes just for the little kids who watched the Teen Titans Go show on Cartoon Network. I actually counted. This movie only had about 4 to 5 poop and fart jokes. Now that's restraint. I gotta give kudos to the movie for that, only having that many. But the problem is, whenever they had one, it was extended. It was like they would crack that joke a couple of times in the same scene and you would get annoyed and just want to move on, versus the really clever superhero humor and all the parody aspects that go with that. They would just be a mile-a-minute jokes that can fly over your head if you're not caught up with so many different movies, so many different TV shows, so many different comic books. I didn't like that. Although there is plenty of fan service to be had with this movie, tons of Easter eggs, etc., and a lot of great animation. This movie is constantly over your face with over the over-the-top animation and a lot of brightly colored musical sequences that, while cheesy, were admittedly engaging and had a lot of visual appeal to them. That's about all the stuff positive I can list about this movie. Oh, let's start with the negatives, and there are quite a few. First of all, oh my goodness, the third act is so bad plot-wise. The last 20 to 30 minutes of this movie is such a rehash, and it's so familiar because another much better superhero movie this summer, in fact, did the same plot but better. Although maybe that's a credit to the movie showing, oh look how many different superhero movies do this exact same kind of master plan. That was just annoying. Maybe it's a kudos to the movie, but I find it as a negative because it's way too recent. The second thing, the characters. The Teen Titans Go version of the characters are so abominable and so abhorrent and so annoying. They're terrible. Robin is not the Robin you knew from any other version. He's just a straight-up goofball with no motivations, no plan, no sense of leadership, no responsibility, no seriousness, no stern Batman style of way of handling his team. Robin's terrible. Beast Boy only speaks in slang and only speaks in memes in this movie. Of course, in the original Teen Titans, yeah, he was the one who would say, come on, dude, chill, dude, come on, dude. But he would only say that sparingly compared to how he talks in Teen Titans Go. Beast Boy's terrible. Cyborg is only the hype man of the group. He's only the one to get the megahorn and go like, burr, 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 to blast the immature jokes that the Titans crack. Starfire didn't get a single laugh from me all movie because they just made fun of, that her English, she, like Drax in the Guardians of the Galaxy, she only speaks literally. Now, at least in the original show, they would make a lot of humor from her having just being ignorant as far as human culture. She didn't get a single laugh from me in this movie. And Raven, oh my goodness, Raven in this movie, she's a literal walking ex machina. She just does whatever the plot needs her to do, and she was terrible in this movie too. The characters, I don't see how I could have a lot of fun in a Teen Titans Go movie where every single one of the Teen Titans are terrible and you don't want to spend any time with them. I could barely get through 20 minutes of an episode, so it was pretty torturous at times to sit through an hour and a half of an entire movie. The immature humor. Yeah, I already talked about that. Only 4 poop and fart jokes, but they went on for so long. I wanted to check my watch several times. But I was in the theater. I was trying to be respectful. The third act, the unbearable characters. And this movie, the most pathetic thing about this movie is there are several times where Robin says, I don't want to be taken as a joke anymore. I gotta make sure I'm a real superhero, while being a joke the entire movie. And there are times where the movie goes for heart. It makes sure, you should care about Robin and his quest to become relevant. Robin's already a very relevant and important character in comic books and movies and such, apart from being a sidekick. But the fact that you're trying to make him serious in this Teen Titans goofball version, this movie goes for heart and just never lands. It just never landed a single time. It was annoying to spend this much time with the characters, although admittedly there is some fun to be had with this movie. You're going to have more fun with it the more you know about comic books, superheroes, and the like. This movie does have a lot of fun to be had as far as how much it parodies superheroes, and when the jokes land, they really land. There are a couple times I actually belly laughed in this movie. I just couldn't stop, and I had to clutch my sides because I was laughing so hard. When the movie wants to be funny, it's really funny. When it's not funny, it's just torture. I'm going to give the Teen Titans Go to the movie 3 out of 5 stars. There's some fun to be had, but there's just so many negatives and things holding it down. Admittedly, though, it's the most hype. Stay after the credits. If you love comic books, if you like this kind of stuff, or if you just want to forget about your problems for an hour and a half, this movie does have some fun to be had. And stay after the credits. The post-credit or the mid-credit scene of this movie is one of the most hype I've gotten in a long time. Definitely check it out if you're into this kind of stuff. 3 out of 5 stars. Thank you for getting to the end of the video. I am Pac. Thanks so much for hearing my perspective. If you like this video, please do me a huge favor and like, comment, and share the video, and even subscribe. That subscribe button will be in the corner. I am Pac. Thanks so much for hearing my perspective, and I'm out for now.